What is up, everybody? Give me a couple minutes. I'm going to get started. I'm going to do the watch lists for tomorrow. I'll start off with the swing trade watch list. Again, we're going to do a lot more for swing trades with you guys. So I'll start off with the watch list today and do swing trade, and then see if I do the day trade on the video or whether I shut it down and send it out. But trying to get more stuff for you swing trade people. So give me a second, and I'm going to share this out with everybody, and then I'll be right with you guys. So just give me a couple minutes. Almost ready, guys. Just finishing up sharing, and I'll be right with you guys. Gotta wait for you guys to join anyway. Here we go. And there we go. So that's shared. Funny, Galactic. That's hilarious. Dan the Man. Is that my Dan the Man, or is that a different Dan Man? That's funny. All right, everybody. So let's see how much energy I got here. I got to do some stretching. I don't stretch very well, and that gives me my problems, but we're always just trying to work so hard, trying to help you guys out, and then we beat our own bodies up, right? So let's get into the watches for tomorrow. So what we're going to start doing for you guys, again, especially for all you swing trade lovers and all that good stuff, going to start giving more of that. So today I'll start the watch list off by doing the swing trade watch list. If I have the energy, I'll do the day trade watch list by video. If not, then I'll just send it out by email. But again, want to give you guys much more with swing trading. We're also going to tweak the trade ideas scanner as well, probably over the next coming days, and then start doing maybe a day or two a week, just kind of doing live with swing trading, right? So instead of doing the small cap stocks, we might do some of the big ones. Galactic, they're funny. Multiple Dan the Mans. Ah, there you go. So yeah, we opened up the chat below here for you guys. So for those of you guys kind of lurking, you can come and join us. Again, up over here. Make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so then you guys know when we do go live. All of that good stuff. So we're going to do, right now we'll go into the watch list, right? See what's going on. Take a look at some stuff. So target finally went off. It hit the mark. This one was on our swing trade watch list, and it finally fired off. If you guys see, I had this level right here, that 73.85-ish or 80 marker. Like, as you can see here, there was this big cup and handle. We did a video on this a couple days ago. We got the big cup, right? Handle, watching for a breakout. You had a double bottom pattern right here. So now you have the resistance right at the top of this cup, right? That's 78.82. I mean, it's looking nice right now. Be aware that there's earnings coming up. Not sure when the date was, but I think there's earnings up in a week or so. But this fired off, and you'll see it went up $2 today. So at this point, you know, it could pull back. You know, you can see when it breaks out, it may pull back down to this area before going up or dropping. Got to keep an eye on it. But so far, it's up, you know, about $2. So, guys, these alerts go off. Sometimes they don't go off right away. You know, they go off. We have a really good ratio with them. Some go up better than others. This is a really nice one. You can see, again, got to find these patterns, right? Cup, handle, breakout. So that's why swing trading can be also very difficult when the market's, you know, wacky or indecision mode, because sometimes the patterns aren't always there. But that's why you want to be patient. Don't just trade just to trade. If you find one good setup a week, then you can scale in. And if you know these patterns, you can buy, like if you're an options person trading options, you can buy a lot more contracts on something like this with the more obvious patterns, good setup. Whereas some of the other ones that kind of go off and the patterns aren't as great, maybe you just buy less contracts, right? But swing trading, you're not trying to like day trade and make 5 trades a day or 3 to 5 trades a day. Even with day trading, right? You don't want to just go in there and just trade just to trade. You want to ideally find the best setups and use your account as leverage to, you know, get the good setup. You know, if there's days that there's not a good setup, don't trade. Very simple. Don't trade. You can't lose if you can't trade. If the setups aren't there, don't trade. All right, that's what I got for you. All right, let me try to conserve my energy here because otherwise I'll just go on a tangent and then lose all my energy. So here's the futures right here. You can see price has broken out of this descending triangle over here. We can now just maybe, I guess, just remove that for right now. Now you can kind of see this double bottom pattern right here, almost a triple bottom, 1, 2, 3. And you'll see price went down, retested today, retested here, and then closed above this area. Support and resistance. Make sure you watch your candlesticks patterns course, guys, because you can see these reversals. You can see many of warnings along the way, right? You can see an evening star pattern here. You can see basically a morning star pattern here, an evening star pattern here, right? So you watch these reversals, kind of a morning star pattern here, morning, morning, evening, evening, right? Watch these little doji candles, these spinning top candles for the reversals. So again, those 2 and 3 candlestick patterns show potential reversals. So you can be aware of when things are happening, right? All about finding these patterns. And with swing trading, it's much easier to find more of the patterns than it is with some of these small cap stocks. With these small cap stocks, it's a lot more difficult. It's more of like the pumping and the dumping, right? You'll find patterns and stuff, but it's a little bit more difficult. Whereas with these swing trades on the bigger stocks, it's easier to find more of the patterns. So when we do our watch list for swing trades, we don't like to have more than 5. We might have anywhere from 2 to 5. Again, you don't want to trade them all. We might put a list of 4 or 5 on there and only one might go off that's really good, right? So I'm just going to show you guys now, just again, we're going to build a swing trade watch list, see if anything pops up or goes on there. I haven't looked at any of these, so we might find nothing or we might find a bunch. But I'm just going to go in and just pound support and resistance over your heads until you're sick of hearing it, until it connects, because that's what everything is all about, support and resistance. So that all being said, let's go right into it here. So here's the market, right? So it's been moving up, you know, and you want to see it hold above this kind of this double bottom pattern, hold right above here and continue up. You can see some resistance around that 2750. And then this double bottom pattern can keep kind of extending upwards, right? You can see kind of a cup and handle right over here, kind of a cup pulling back, see if the handle forms and continues upwards. Patterns, patterns, patterns. All right, so now when we're doing the swing trade watch list, right, I have a little different criteria. On the day trade watch list, I'm looking for stocks that are holding their highs or holding their lows for a potential continuation. Ideally, you know, ideally the next day. Sometimes it happens a day or so afterwards. Sometimes it doesn't happen at all. Swing trade watch list, it's a little bit different, right? I want to try to get you guys some room to move. You ideally want to see it move. But I can't tell you when to sell because you got to determine your own profit levels. Just like with day trading, you got to determine your own exit strategies, these moving average lines and support and resistance areas. But when I'm doing this swing trade watch list, I might find a good setup for you guys, but then the next thing is I want to see like a good setup, and then I go to the options chain. Now again, there's so many different option strategies that you can do. When I'm doing these videos, I'm just talking like long or short, call or put. Obviously, the more you do like spread types of strategies to manage your risk, the better. So don't just buy a call or a put because I put something on there. First of all, don't buy anything we put on our watch list just because the alert goes off. You have to have the right setup. But if you go over here, we have our options course over here. This is going to give you really good basic options training. And then if you go under, there's what do you call it, videos? Members only videos. There's a video under there that Tim did on spreads. We're going to do more of those in the future as well. So again, there's calls, there's puts, there's spreads, there's iron condors, all that good stuff. So you got to determine your what do you call it? What type of trader you are with swing trading. If you're going to do options, then if you're buying straight calls or puts, again, calls and puts give you more risk, also more reward. The spreads, can limit more of your risk, but also limit more of your reward. Again, got to determine what type of trader you are. So I'm just trying to find stocks that have room to move for you guys. They may go up really quick. Some of these will fire off. You might get $1 or so move and then dump that day. Again, you got to watch the markets. So when you're doing this, I'm trying to, like when I'm making any of the watch list videos for you guys, I'm giving you alert levels, watch the patterns, and then when I try to find with swing trading, I'm trying to then drill down and I'm looking for stocks that have high open interest. Ideally, I want to see 1,000 plus or more. Sometimes a couple hundred or so is okay for open interest. I try to get you guys higher open interest areas for liquidity, and then I like a tighter bid-ask spread. Ideally 15 cents or less, maybe up to 20. So that's why I might see something on that I go to put on the watch list, but then the spread sucks on it. I might have a 30-cent, bid-ask spread for the swing trade watch list, and then I'm like, I'm not going to put it on, right? I'm trying to get you guys liquidity. So that's what I'm looking at. So that's kind of my what I'm looking for when I go through this stuff. So I want to give you guys possible ideally some areas to move, get you a good setup, look at the patterns, and then drill down, find really good open interest, and then a tight bid-ask spread. So that's what I got. So that being said, I don't like MTZ. We'll take a look and go through here and see if there's anything else. So this one is holding its highs on the day, right below the 20 moving average. So there's room to run, but then you have right near resistance here as well. So I try to avoid putting you guys near something that has right at resistance. If this was closing above the 20, then I might put it on to give you some room up here. So it doesn't mean these ones can't go up, but I try to avoid as much as possible for resistance. You can see it's like right here. You got the resistance at the 200. So something that might look, again, it's holding its highs. It might continue upwards, but I'm trying to get you as best as possible, not near the resistance areas. All right. So you have kind of a double bottom here. You can see this one right here. It's kind of, see that kind of a double bottom, went right up in this area right here. It's rejecting right at the gap, the base of this gap. It still has room to go. This one can still move up, but it's kind of trading. You can see kind of almost like a triangular pattern. Like, it's not the greatest right now. You can do it like this. All right, so you kind of have a symmetrical triangle, which is pretty good, but you want to see it break out, and then you want to see it get above this area. So it's a little bit too messy for me. This could easily go up. It can go and break up into the gap, or it can fall down. It can trade sideways. So I'm trying to find these patterns. Again, see the patterns right over here. This is one that eventually might want to go into the gap, and then you have the 50 SMA and all this other stuff to contend with. So it could move, but it's, again, like a doji candle. And that's kind of my what I'm looking at, right? Let me see. Could you explain? Okay, so Team Lao Financial says, "Hey Lucian, could you explain in more detail why you don't like trading 5-cent spreads? And I get confused when you go to the alert screen and change the amount and say you don't like it." So that's me personally. So any stock from me personally under $10, I don't like a stock that has a 5-cent spread under $10 because I don't like to automatically be down 5 cents, right? If I'm buying at the ask and that stock moves, I need it to move really good. Now the pump and dumps, you know, they have the movement, right? So they can go up really quickly. I just don't like being down 5 cents right off the bat on a trade. Now, stocks over $10 or so, like you're up 10, you know, $15, $20 stock, I'm not so concerned about it. But the small caps, it's just me personally. Doesn't mean don't trade them. Tons of people trade them all the time. I just don't like it because I like my risk management to be good. Now, again, maybe I'm just overly biased against it. I mean, you know, 5 cents is not bad. I mean, it's a good risk management, but that's five. I'm down 5 cents. That's on 1,000 shares. You know, let's say you buy, you know, so that's down what, $50. You know, if you bought 5,000 shares, you're automatically down $250. I just like a tight bid-ask spread, so that's why I personally don't, but many people do. Again, stocks over $15, $20 or so, I'm not as worried about it. Yeah, I will take a look at here for you guys. Let me see. Let me pull that one back up. Here, again, so very important, guys, right? Here has been this stock that everybody's been talking about it. It's been everybody's excited about it. But remember, when a stock gets hyped up, what happens? A lot of buyers come in, and then look at this. Just massively overextended. This thing is going to dump and give back at some point. It's just a matter of time, right? But what happens to the stock like this? It traps all the newbies up here, right? Think about it. Stock gets hype, brings in more buyers. What are the smart buyers? What are the great traders doing? They're not saying, oh, let me buy more when it's way overextended at RSI and it can just crash at any moment. No, these guys are just, they're pumping you in. I don't know anything about here, so I'm not saying it's a bad company, not saying it can't go back more, but it's so overextended. It's going to pull back. Now it could. It went up. This is a very difficult pattern to trade. It's forming a potential evening star pattern for a reversal. Doesn't mean it can't go up another day or so, but I don't see this thing going on for weeks and weeks without pulling back. This could easily go right back down to the 9 EMA with a blink of an eye. Easily. May go up for a day or so more, but, I mean, this is way overextended. Look at this. Like this, right here, pump it up, suck in all the newbies, and then dump it. This is a big warning sign right here. Be aware. This is going to reverse, whether it's tomorrow or the next day, and pull back. Doesn't mean it won't go up long term. It's just, this is scary, man. Very scary. You're welcome. All right, so let's keep going. All right. So this one's kind of got like a cup forming like a handle right here. Let me look at the... Let's see here. All right, so perfect example. This is my psychology when I'm looking at this. So this right here, it's got a cup, handle, broaching right here, the top, there's top of the cup right here, and then also up here, right? Price is above the 9 moving average line, has some movement to go. You can kind of see like this handle going sideways, might be breaking out, kind of similar to like the target, right? You can see what I was showing you guys earlier with target, kind of has like a very similar pattern, right? Kind of a cup, handle, might be trying to break out and get above. So this one might have some movement up, room for movement, right? There you go. So you can kind of see a cup and handle. But then what I'm trying to do when I'm looking at this for you guys, again, pay close attention to the things I'm saying to you guys, because people are not telling you this stuff. I'm telling you just lots of the secrets right here. I'm not going to every freaking option strategy because you got to determine which one's right for you. But now I'm going into the options chain. I'm looking for high open interest. I like this, right? 2,400 right here, high open interest. Lot more open interest on the call side than the put side. So then I start to say, okay, let me look at these. But then I look over here. Look at this bid-ask spread. That's terrible. $1.40 to $2.80. That's crappy. That's horrible, right? So this is where I'm going to look at it and be like, and the chances are that most of you guys have the funds. Again, it's not insulting, but most people don't have the funds to buy, you know, a $31 stock and trade it, you know, you got to have a pretty good account. If you want to make anything decent on it, you need to be able to buy at least buy 1,000 shares. So that'd be $31,000, you know, and you know, it's tough because the options suck, right? So that's why I don't put it on here. So point being is you can see a potential setup and a pattern. Then I'm going in, I'm trying to find lots of open interest. This is good. I like seeing those dollar amounts, but then I want a good 15 cents or less tight bid ask spread, maybe 20 cents. But I try not to get more than, you know, over 20 or 30 cents for you guys, because then you can get trapped, right? Is it a good stock to short? Yeah, or here. Yeah, it's good to short, but you got to watch the setup, right? So let's go back to here for a moment. HEAR going up here. So if you were to short a stock like this, I don't even think Thinkorswim has shares to short of it, right? So perfect example on a stock to short, right? So this is a good, right here, potentially setting up for a nice evening star pattern. So what you want to do on a short, right here and in here. See, here's what I did. This doji candle. So if you were to short a stock like this, when price starts to fall below this level here of that 1735 marker right here, when price falls below that, then that's where the shorts potentially start to come in and short it. Like if you want to play it technical, when price falls below here, that's when you would take your short, risking the top of a close above this candle as your stop. So price starts to fall below here, you would take a short using this, a close above this area as your stop. Many times the price will go back up and get a little wick or a shot, boom, boom, up top there and fall back down. So if you wanted to short this is setting up really for a good potential evening star. But again, doesn't mean it won't go for a day or two up more. Just you got to be aware. Patterns fail all the time. But if you're shorting it or taking a put on it, when price starts to fail this area here, you would take a short using the top of this as a stop. Now be aware, very, very important, guys. This is just kind of a, you know, it's a doji candle, but be aware of how much of a dollar amount that doji is. 1735 to 2036. That's a $3 move. That's you're getting risky for risk management. $3 is kind of a lot. So just be aware, again, of all of these things before you take a trade. Don't just take it. Be aware of the risk management. But shorting, when price falls below that doji, using a close above that top as your stop, right? But again, you see this thing, it's been going up and just, it's crazy. It could still, it's not like your typical pattern, like with a normal stock. When you see this, okay, you know, if this was Apple or Amazon or Google, you might be like, okay, I might be more willing to take it short. Whereas a stock like this could easily get hyped and pumped up another day or two. Got to be careful. All right. All right. Oh, you said PTCT. Did I already hit that one yet? Yeah. So again, if you had the funds for this, PTCT, you know, if you're trading it, you know, cash, again, you still got to look over here. Kind of has like a pennant or a kind of a bull pennant-ish, right? Kind of your triangle, you know, I'd be aware of $32 as resistance. So if it can kind of break out, you know, again, if you had $31,000 and you put it in and it went up from $31.35 to $32, that's, you know, $800 move. So if you're trading at stock and the pattern goes, great. Options, they suck. Not good. So all that to be said here. So this is a potential reversal right here. It's into the gap. Got some resistance right over here. It's in the gap. So right now, price is in the gap right over here. It's above this candle. It's in the gap. It's above the 9. Now it's got the 20 EMA to contend with and the closing of this gap. So it's got some volatility. So this is a potential reversal. You can see kind of a morning star reversal here. Kind of a 3 inside up pattern, right? Morning star, or wait, is this 3 inside up? Nah, it's more of a morning star, right? So now you have this reversal here, closing right here towards the top of this candle. So this one may continue upwards. Now again, got a lot of it's got the resistance to contend with, but the closing that gap 26.25 to 27.55, it may happen. It could take a while. Got to look. Now I'm going to like zoom in here and see, okay, what's the open interest now? So here you go. No options to trade on farm. So that's why I wouldn't put this on a watch list for you guys, because there's no options. You have to have cash to buy a stock like this. So another potential setup, but now no options. The other one we looked at had crappy bid-ask spreads. This one right here has no options. Do you see why there's so much that goes into swing trading, guys? So much. It's not just like putting a stock on a watch list that's holding its highs or its lows. There's so much more that goes into it. You got to have the funds to be able to trade this, and that's why I'm trying to get you guys liquidity on options contracts, so you have a chance to be able to play them. So here's another one, a second one that might have some room to run, unless you have cash to trade it. Again, I'm still weary of it with this 20 EMA right in front of my face here, right in the middle of that gap. It's going to get choppy around there. I don't really like that in there. KEM. So there's another one near the gap right here. Look at that gap right here. So bull flagged, going up, pull back right near that gap again, right here, right here. Take a look at the hourly. Not bad. It's got, gets a little bit hairy up in here, right? It can move, but then it could easily fall back down. Let's look at the, so perfect example here, right? So now lots of open interest, higher on the call side than the put side over here. Now the bid ask spread is right on the borderline of where I want it to be. You can see 15 cents, 15 cents, 15 cents. So this is when I would a lot more. This is what I'm looking for, right? High open interest, 15 cents or less bid ask spread, with the potential of this stock to go up and go up to potentially fill this gap. Now, it could, if you were to buy just a straight, let's say you're going to go call on this, right? And you buy a straight call on this, this could easily smack around over here for a while and really kind of make you crazy, like rid of it, you know? So again, you know, that's where just buying a straight call or a straight put, you know, you gotta be careful with that. Buying spreads, giving yourself enough time, that's when you know, you're limiting your risk more. So I'm trying to find these patterns. You find the patterns, you put the odds more in your favor, but then obviously with options, it's a whole other arena of how you're going to trade them, right? Just buying a straight call, hoping this gap's gonna fill, well, it's a little bit risky. Prices got to get up into this gap. Then there's lots of volatility potentially in the gap. Doesn't mean just because it goes in the gap, it's going to go and fill. It can go up. It can trade, go wacky. It could fall back down. You guys see what I'm saying? Hopefully what I'm saying is making sense to you. Again, take our options course, take our spreads course. It's not just watch our credit spreads video. It's not just as simple as buying a call or put. If you time your call or put right, obviously, you know, you can make a lot of money. But again, gap, price near it, looks like it might want to go up again, kind of overextended. You could also see kind of a bigger double bottom. You can see a quadruple bottom almost right here, right? I mean, but you know, it did go up into this gap a little bit today. Look, it went up here today, and then it did a head and shoulders and failed the gap. So all that to be said, it's one to watch. But that's like the psychology. Let me see. Is there earnings behind it? Earnings. Here we go. See, there we go. All that to say, earnings on 5/17 before market. So again, be careful with earnings, guys, right? Just because we're putting on, be aware of earnings, what's happening with them. So this is one to keep an eye on. Don't just buy straight calls or puts during earnings unless you know what the heck you're doing. Very risky. So that's my psychology behind just looking at this one. It's got a potential good setup. Got to watch it. Who knows? I don't know what the earnings are. I don't know how good of a company it is. It could fail. Or it could easily go and go, bam, it might take off, right? All right. BTU. This one's moving up right near resistance right here at that $42. Broaching over, extended, double bottom, broke out right over the double bottom. Now you're starting to get into right here. You guys seeing these patterns? Hope you're paying attention. Patterns, patterns, patterns. What are you guys seeing here? A potential ascending triangle. Got kind of a flat top right up here. Higher lows being formed. Double bottom inside of this ascending triangle. Now it's going to broach and hit resistance. So, if you're bullish on it, you want to see it break above, again, $42, that psychological resistance, and keep going. Now, once you see it inside this ascending triangle like this, now you zoom in, there's lots of all this craziness going on. This can go up and down and trade sideways, pull back, all that kind of crazy stuff. So that's where, with options, let's say, for an example, if you were to buy, let's say you think the stock's going to break out above $42, if you were to buy a call on it, because you see, oh, okay, double bottom, that's bullish, ascending triangle, oh, that's a good chance of breaking out. Well, if you were to buy just a straight call on this and you were to do that, that's when we say, again, I'm not suggesting to do that by any means, but that's where I try to say to people again, give yourself enough time. With options, if you just straight call, straight put, again, it's gambling. But if you're trying to, you got to predict that move the right time, and you got to buy yourself enough time for that move to happen. So just because a chart looks bullish, this could easily smack her at $42 and just dump, right? This might go out the next 6 months and trade sideways and then eventually break out 6 months from now, right? Again, that's why I try to, again, take our course. We explain all that stuff in the options course, but I'm trying to give you guys nuggets and stuff here while I'm building the watch list so you can see the patterns, what I'm looking at, the psychology behind it, all of that. This is looking good right now, for at some point a potential breakout. But if it breaks out, you want to see $42 break and hold and continue upwards. So all that to be said, it's a little bit overextended right now. It could go and break out. I'm going to put it down just right now, just for the heck of it, just peripherally to look at. We'll look at it towards the end, see if anything good comes out of it. But you can see this one right here. Right here, you can see right here. Patterns, guys. Patterns, patterns, patterns. Can't explain it. What do you see here? An ascending triangle. Double bottom. Price broke out. What did it do? It broke out. Hesitating now. Now right here, price on this one needs to hold above that area to continue up. It's broaching overextended. So double bottom inside another, it's kind of not really, it kind of is not many touches right here, but you can see it could fall back down, make a few more, go back up. You can see some support right down over here as well. So again, find these patterns a little bit overextended to put on there for me at this point. But if this holds and continues, it might continue to go. Then you got to look at the weekly chart. Again, weekly overextended, double bottom, broke out, hesitating. On the monthly charts, all-time highs. So, it's all-time highs, a little bit overextended for me at this point. Sorry, guys, my wrist is hurting. I'm falling apart. My wrist, my ankles, my back. Life of a trader. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy. Lots of stress, lots of all this stuff going in here for you guys. Lots of work. Although I did have a trader's nap today, so that was nice. All right, so AIZ, kind of a U bottom here. Want to see it get above that 94.43, but it's also got the resistance right there. So it's right up against resistance. You can kind of see 1, 2, 3, almost like a triple bottom. So this one may be one to keep an eye on. Want to see it get above, right? Got these resistance areas, so you can see 1, 2, 3. So kind of a triple bottom, right coming up upon resistance. Let's see how the options are on this one. So here's another one. Again, now you had a potential setup. Really good open interest, but look, spreads suck, right? So I don't even take a look at it further. So this one had a breakout right over here. There's room to go, a little bit overextended. It is holding its highs, but, you know, 3 big green days, a little bit overextended for me right now. Don't like the chart. No. Nope. A little bit overextended, so you can see price broke out over here. So price goes, you can see kind of a, what is that one here? That's a almost like an inverse head and shoulders, except for the left shoulder is a little bit higher than the right shoulders. Again, these patterns don't always work out perfectly. Picture kind of a left shoulder here, a head, a right shoulder. You have that neckline over here. Price went and broke out. What did it do? It broke out into no man's land. What does it want to do? It naturally gravitates back down. When resistance breaks, it then becomes support. Stock breaks out, comes back down, retest it. Now you got to see if it holds. So all that to be said, very overextended for me. Let me pull up, I'll pull up CSIQ, see what you guys are saying there. CSIQ. So, okay. There we go. So CSIQ, hold on one second. So CSIQ, you can see a double bottom. One bottom here, one bottom here. Bada boom right here. There you go. There's your top, right near the top, holding its highs. This one might be one to take a look at. Double bottom, might be trying to break out. Again, a little bit overextended. So now let me take a look at the options chains for you guys. So now you're getting close, 15 to 20 cents. You have some open interest over here. A little bit higher on some of them, but you can see 10 cents, 15 cents, 20 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. One to keep an eye on. So this is good. So Dan the man, this is one to keep an eye on. CSIQ. Let's see if there's earnings coming up. Earnings on 5/16. Ah, that was today, huh? They have good earnings. Did I have good earnings? Reports, revenue beat, views, All right, so it looks like it had some good news here today. So CSIQ pattern, right? You want to see it break above that 1760 area and hold. Might be setting up, might pull back, but it's got some room to run. You know, let me take a look at the hourly. So right there, that 1765 area, very important to break out of and then hold. So yeah, we'll put that one on. I'll chart it afterwards. Nice call on that, Dan. It's one to watch. Good old Urban Outfitters, one of my favorite stores to shop. Dan, if you're listening, I like Urban Outfitters. Very hit or miss. A lot of times their clothes suck, and then a lot of times it's good. Very overpriced for what you get sometimes, but I do like their clothes. For those of you guys listen to me, I am a big shopaholic. I love clothes. And you can see, look at that. Big cup pattern. Broke out. Now, it may retest. It's a little bit difficult to kind of chart this one out because it might pull back, do its thing for a little bit. But you can see it did break out. So I don't like it for right now. NUE. So now here's where you start getting into these good old triangle Triangles get a little bit tricky to trade. Let's take a look at the hourly. Trend lines, guys. Trend lines, trend lines, trend lines. Watch our trend lines videos to see how to get these patterns. Dan did some really good trend line videos right here. Right here. So now, sometimes when you can't zoom in on a daily, you come down to the hourly and draw your trend lines, right? So it's up against some resistance here right now. Go to the daily now. Now you have kind of like a symmetrical triangle, but it's kind of slanting downwards. So now you got to be kind of careful here, and then you got to go and find these other resistance areas you can see right here. So it kind of has this like slantward down symmetrical triangle. Then you have the $66 range. Price is up against it. So these triangles, you see how these things can be very tricky to trade if you're just buying a straight call or put on them. It gets a little tricky, right? It's kind of slanting downwards, but you do have a double bottom, which is a good bullish sign. It's got some room to run to $66, but it's up against it, but it is holding its highs, right? You see all the theory and the hot thought process behind this. And so again, you can see almost an inverse head and shoulders, might be trying to get out. So that's kind of like my thought process when I'm looking at all this. Now I go right to the options chain. All right, yeah, see some open interest. Lots of open interest. Tighter bid-ask spread. Lots of open interest on both sides. So this is where I would start to say, there's some bullish signs. It's in a triangle. This is then where you got to determine, if you're going to would you do a spread on something like this? Would you go straight call? That's kind of, this is where we leave that up to you guys. But it's one to keep an eye on, right? All that to say, it's one to keep an eye on. And we will get to it. All right. ANF. I should know it's Abercrombie and Fitch. Another store I somewhat like, but don't love. That one's hit or miss as well. So Abercrombie and Fitch. Here we go. So this one's got kind of like a bigger just cup pattern, right? You can see it's holding its highs. You can see some resistance right over the top right here. So this has got some potential room to run. Let me take a look at the hourly. Needs to get above this area right here, that 27.32. So this one might go kind of bull flagging here right now, a bit overextended. Might want to try, you can see this 27.30 up to 29.20. So it's got $2 to potentially run, right? And you can see this is bull flagging, kind of broke out of this. Or you can see this big cup. Pulls back. You can see it's holding its highs here. You see these EMAs and moving average lines wrapped up. The 9 and 20 might be crossing over. So this one might have a push. ANF might look decent. I'll take a look at that one. Nope. Nope. I don't know if I like that one as much. ATUS. No. Nope. Dish. Good old Dish. Piece of crap getting killed down here. Breakout. Nope. All right. So when you see a stock like this one, TER. So holding its highs kind of on the day, closing right above the 20 EMA, that red line. Now you can see, look at the gap. So now closing above the 20, right into the gap, right at indecision mode, right? You see the top of this, the bottom of this gap right over here, extends over here, price is right up against it. Now, there's room to move on this one over here, TER. Let's take a look at the hourly. Go over here, price is up right up against it into this gap here. It's got some room to move. So now I'd start to say, okay, one to keep an eye on. Possibly here, it's got some room to move. But then let's go to the options chain. All right, so you can see a couple thousand open interest, 10-cent spread. I like that. Few hundred over in here, 10 to 15 cents. All right, I like that. So this is something to keep an eye on. Room to move, tight bid-ask spread, lots of open interest. So we will take a look at it. And again, I'm just building a list on here, and then I'm gonna kind of weed it down for you guys as well. I'll take a look at Twitter here, TWTR. Twitter, you said kind of an ascending triangle, 60 RSI on the daily, ascending triangle. Ascending triangle, what time frame are you thinking? This way. It's a little bit sloppy on the hourly for me. The daily. It's got more of a symmetrical, I think, from what I'm looking here. Right here. So Twitter kind of has, now you have kind of a symmetrical triangle, right? So you can see this. Now, right here, you can see a symmetrical triangle. It's right up against it right out here. These symmetrical triangles, again, they're very tricky to trade, right? Because they can easily break out and they can easily break down. This thing could easily just kind of drop down and go and like in the center, just trade all around this triangle for a while, or it could easily break out. Daily 321 today. I'm not sure. You can see a double bottom kind of an area here. You can see right here. Right? So now you got to zoom in, right? Zoom in, you have a bigger symmetrical triangle. Zoom in, you have a double bottom. But now price kind of goes in and it's rejecting off the top of this area here. It's got some resistance to contend with out here. So you guys see these patterns and patterns of the patterns and stuff like that. So that's why you got to like drill down, and right here, it's holding the moving average lines, but it's tricky. It's very, very tricky. If you're going to go straight call on something like that, you know, it's tricky. This one, who knows? You got to give yourself enough time. This thing can trade in this triangle for a while, or it could break out, right? Let me go back over. Dang it. With these multiple screens, it gets wacky. Your cursor ends up other places. Oh, this one's just a little too tricky to trade. It's already broken out. AEO, Aeropostale, or American Eagle. I don't like that company. I don't like their clothes. Not that that matters to you guys. This one broke out. Right out here. Broke out. Bit over. It's broaching overextended. Don't like the pattern. WDC. Possible, right? Closing above the 200 moving average. Possible cup pattern right here. Let's take a look at the hourly cup pattern. You can see it's got some room up to maybe $90 or so, even up right over here. So big cup, 87 to 90. It's got some room, bit overextended. Now it's stuck between the 20 and the 50. Let's take a look. So it's got a lot of open interest, and it's got a good tight bid-ask spread. So again, something to keep an eye on. The only thing I don't like is it's just very close to these moving average lines. A little bit tricky, right? So it's got some room though. It's got some room to move. It's just got a lot of this to contend with back here, right? See all this, lots of resistance areas. You guys see what I'm thinking? Doesn't mean this can't be a good trade, but I'm trying to get you guys the best setups as possible. You used to hate them too, but recently their quality is much better. Not is that American Eagle? I don't know. I'm a clothes snob. I will give a huge shout out if you guys want to know my secret place that I shop. Not that you guys care right now, but I'm going to show you anyways. This is my favorite star on the planet to shop. These guys, ASOS, ASOS. Not this. That's terrible style. It's ugly. I wouldn't buy that. Great return policy, great clothes, good quality clothes, good pricing, awesome return policy, super awesome. I love ASOS. Really great company. So I'm giving them a plug. I don't like American Eagle. So So hopefully, I'm hoping this helps you guys. I'm giving you guys a lot of like the psychology. You guys see how long this takes to do this stuff, guys? Yeah, I care. You too. ASOS, ASOS. Love them, Dave. They're so good. I do highly suggest if you find something, anybody listening on ASOS, buy 2 sizes at once, because by the time you get your order, they completely run out of stock. But they give you this prepaid package label and stuff. You can throw the other one back in the mail. Their return policy is great. Customer care is good. But I'll tell you, if you don't get the size you want, by the time you get it, they get out of stock. They do go. They're one of those legit sites. They ain't one of those China sites where they tell you there's 1 or 2 in stock. By the way, never order from District Alpha. They're terrible. Never these Chinese companies. You got to be very careful. That's nothing against the Chinese at all. It's just you got to be careful. Those Facebook ads, they screw you. I got screwed once. You got to be very careful with them. But ASOS, you don't have to be careful. They're awesome. Oh, man. Lucky? Yeah. I don't know. Lucky's good, but I don't know why I don't like them very much. Another one, by the way, love these guys over here. Another quick shout out. Nordstrom Rack. Right here. These guys are great too. Really good. That's like the discount Nordstrom. Super good. Huge fan of Nordstrom Rack and ASOS. All right. You guys keep talking about clothes. They do. I love. Dan was talking someday. Dan was talking that I got to open a YouTube channel someday and do like a YouTube clothing review one and just buy like clothes from all these companies like ASOS, right? Nordstrom Rack, all those things. And then buy from these Chinese like Facebook ad companies, these scam ones that just totally get you. And then when I get my clothes, the moment I get them when I'm opening the box, just do my natural reactions and my reviews on it. And then make a whole channel of like clothing reviews. I actually think it's not a bad idea. I think it'd be kind of good. Who knows, right? So... don't really like that. Square SQ. Here we go. All right. So good old Square. Double bottom. Resistance 5846. Where you get it all from fashion to funds, right? I'm telling you guys, we ain't just going to be a trading company. We have lots of other plans in the future. That's why we're always keeping our eye, guys, right? We're a big community. We'll grow it. That's why we always keep our eyes out for other people. We're going to grow it. We have lots of plans in the future, maybe conferences, all that kind of good stuff. And those of you guys that are good and give back to the community, maybe we'll have some of you guys help to run things as we continue to grow. We might got lots of visions for the future, but yeah, start here, right? So perfect example, good learning lesson, right? We all want to be rich traders, right? We all want to quit our jobs, get rid of our jobs, and become millionaires trading, right? But guess what? You got to look at tens of thousands of charts first. You need to make tons of bad trades before you can be a good trader, right? So you all want the end goal, right? You always want to be rich, the rich trader, but you got to make the mistakes and you got to go through the minutiae and you got to go through this all day long. Guys, this is what we're saying. We're charging you $10 a month. Do you see how long this takes? I haven't even finished the swing trade watch list yet. Never mind the day trade watch list, right? There's so much that goes into this. We're trying to help you guys. So I hope if you're listening and watching this that you really, 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 you haven't got time. You're teaching us no fashion tan. Yeah, I know. See, that's my point. See, that's my thing. I'm kind of like a visionary kind of person. I like think of things in the end and then I'm like, oh man, I want to like make a watch list video. I want to go create a fashion channel. But that's how my brain works, guys. That's why it's difficult for me to teach and trade and stuff at the same time. I get so distracted. So I'm either teaching you guys or I'm trading. Right now, you guys want me to teach, so I'm going to teach you guys. There we go. So right here, you can see kind of here some higher lows being formed, a bigger double bottom here. So this is good. You can see some kind of broke out over here. This double bottom broke out. Now it's going up. Now you got resistance to contend with at 58.46. It could, again, be aware of this area. It can get up. It can get choppy and go around here. And then You know, maybe at some point it breaks out, but now you're in this, it's in this channel over here. So it's one to keep an eye on. You got some bullish signs, broaching overextended, kind of a cup pattern, but it's a little bit more, you know, it's a little bit closer to the danger zone right here, unless you look out in the future. So it's one to keep an eye on. It's got some bullish signs, although after them, it's starting to, I don't want to discount it yet. You can see, I don't see earnings or anything coming up. I'm not going to discount it yet, but you get to see what I'm saying. Got this resistance to contend with over here. Let me take a look at the hourly. Kind of a big double bottom pattern. Now 58.46, 56.80. So all right, it's got a $1.70 potential movement to run, and that green candle, before I was kind of discounting it, and then I get this green candle here. So this is one to keep an eye on. Maybe Square is trying to call my name for whatever reason. I don't know. So we'll weed it out in a few minutes. Under Armour, a poor stock. Look at this thing. I don't know why they've been so crappy. I don't pay attention, but I buy their clothes. Under Armour I do like. Are they a little bit overpriced? Absolutely. But holding its highs, a bit overextended. Not going to put that one on. MU. Guys, so perfect example. We'll give ourselves a shameless plug. You see these lines here? I didn't do those lines today. We had this one on a swing trade watch us a week or two back. Go back and watch our trade alerts or read our trade alerts updates. Go over here right to our website, bullishbears.com. Go over here, down over here. You can see these trade alerts results. Go over here to trade alerts results, and down over here in one of these couple weeks previously, one of these in here, MU is on there, and as you can see, we had it right at a breakout, that 51.34 area, and look at this. So for those of you guys that bought enough time, if you bought options, if you're watching this, you're playing the patterns, right here, you can see, you know, 51.53 to 56.50. What is that? $5 move in what, within a week or two? So you go, $5. You bought one options contract on that. That's $500. You bought 5. That's $2,500 move. So there you go, guys. These happen over and over and over. These watch alerts, we're updating them by the week, right? So we update them by the week. Sometimes you might see something, it's like, it only moved up 30 cents, but then the next week it may move up $1.20, right? That's why with swing trading, you got to determine your own exits. All right, so now we have several on here for the swing trade watches. Way too many. I want to weed it down by a few. See which ones I like the most. Triangle patterns, I'm just not a fan of like these symmetrical triangles. This one's kind of downwardly sloping. Doesn't mean it can't be one to trade, but right now it's a little bit riskier to me at resistance, so I'm going to remove NUE. SQ, I'll hold off on that one right now. BTU, a bit overextended, getting near resistance. It does got a double bottom, but it might be hitting resistance here coming soon. A bit overextended, so I might eliminate it based upon that. Again, doesn't mean you can't trade it again, but keeping an eye on, you know, just what I might be why I might keep something on or not. This one I like, TER. It's right here, right at the base of the gap. You know, might be kind of trying to reverse. Might trade around sideways for a little bit, but it's got some room to move up into the gap. Abercrombie and Fitch. Big cut pattern right here. It's got some room to run right here up to resistance. Big pattern. You can draw. You can also do this, guys, right? So then go to your trend lines. Right up here. What is this? Is that right? Kind of right over here. So it might be trying to get out over there. You can see. Kind of, right? Kind of got like a triangle pattern. Might be trying to poke out over here between that 27.40 on up to 29.20. So there might be a little bit of room. KEM, near the gap, kind of bull flagging right here. So it's got room. So I like the room. And CSIQ. See this, it's right at resistance right now. It's got a lot of resistance in these areas up here. Could still go, but look at this chart. So friggin' choppy, right? So, you know, I might take that one off right now. We don't want to have too many of them. So now we have 4 potentially to watch. Some of the ones I watch maybe are going to be good. Maybe they're not. This is kind of how I built it for you guys, right? That's what I got. Dang, it's already been an hour. Oh, for crying out loud. Man, guys, hopefully you guys appreciate this because that's all. I gave a lot. I'm going to try to give. I'll try to do. Man, that's a lot of talking. Oh, see all that distraction about close, right? Let's just do this right now. Let's put these alerts on. Square 5659. See if continuation a bit over extended resistance at 58.46. There you go. So, bit overextended, be careful, double bottom, resistance at 58.46. TER, prices in the gap. What is this here? Price in gap, watch for continuation with resistance around 40.26. 40. All right, I don't know what it is. 40.30. 40. What the heck? The base of this gap here. 40.26, right around here, right? See if it continues and goes and fills the gap. Abercrombie and Fitch. So this one right here. Let me go back to the hourly. So kind of bull flagging on the hourly. It's got some room to go up to 29.20 if it can break, keep upwards or keep going. 27. Watch for continuation out of triangle with resistance at 29.20. There we go. Right up. See if it can break out of this triangle. Continuation up with that 29.20. Abercrombie and Fitch. KEM. So this hourly pattern I don't like. It's a little bit difficult here, but you can see it's got some room. Let's go to the daily again. Again, the gap, right? So that's probably why you got this volatility. Price is broaching the gap. See if gap fills around 24 bucks right here. Oh, and it's just poking out. Look at that aftermarket, a little bit aftermarket. So $24. So let's do this. 21.18. So at or above, bada boom. Here we go. Put it on here. So watch our. So let's do this. Price is at gap. Watch for continuation and possible fill of gap around $24. So for those who have still stuck with me here so far, right here. So we have 4 potential to watch on the swing trade watch list. You guys see the amount of work and effort. This happens every freaking day. This is just for swing trading, right? Every day you're building this watch list. And out of these 4, 1 may only be good. a couple may be great, or 4 of them may suck. You don't know what's going to happen, right? You got to watch these patterns. Some of them may be good this week. Some may be good next week. That's the thing with swing trading. You set these alerts, watch when they potentially go off, play the patterns. If you're going to trade options or you're going to trade stocks, if you're going to trade options, what type of option? You're going to do calls or puts. You're going to do a spread. You're going to do an iron condor, all that stuff. There's so many freaking different things you can do with trading options. So my point being in all this, guys, is it takes a lot of work, right? A lot of work and a lot of effort. Now I'm going to fire myself up again. There's some people that ask, are you guys worth $10? I mean, come on. Like, right? $10. It's ridiculous. If I start thinking about it, I'm going to get annoyed. $10. Is this worth it? Like, the stuff we're teaching you just in this video alone and all of the different stuff is just like, I can't explain it to you guys. So I'm not going to toot my horn anymore. This is the swing trade watch list, right? So that's what we got. Now I've got some energy. I don't have energy, but I'll try to give you some energy to do the daily one. So I'm trying to give you guys more because, again, these swing trades, I know you guys, a lot of you you guys are big fans of swing trading. You're welcome, Frank. Swing trading and these patterns. I am more naturally built as a swing trader, right? So, you know, I'm doing these morning videos and all this. Again, I can still call it support and resistance for you guys. I am more of a pattern trader. I like to find patterns and breakouts, and then I like kind of the slower movement, you know, moving something down to like watch for a breakout and then coming down to a 5-minute chart and then finding the patterns and trading that. I'm not a huge in and out guy slapping hotkeys. That's not my natural style. But, you know, I'm able to kind of show you guys and teach it. And, you know, again, you know, there's times to slap the hotkeys and then other times wait for the patterns. There's so many freaking different ways to trade. All that to be said, give me 2 minutes, guys. I'm going to keep this going for those. I can do this. I'm going to get myself in trouble one day. I could do a shameless plug like some people do out there. Hey, guys, give me some likes. Give me some comments. If you want me to keep going, give me 50 likes or retweets or comments. Yay, yay, yay. Can you guys pat me on the back a little bit if you want me to keep going? Oh, man, I'm going to get my... As soon as Lucian is done, I'm going to recap for sure. Oh, guys, sorry. I'm going to get myself in trouble one of these days. Give me a minute. I'm going to get some more water, and then I'll do the daily one for you guys. All right, I'm back, guys. So luckily, you're probably thinking to yourself, how the heck did he get water so quickly, right? Well, the convenient thing is I have this I have like this townhouse, right? And then I have my bathroom literally right next to where I'm doing these videos, which is super convenient for me because I'm always going to the bathroom all the time. But the great news is, actually not the great news. I have this fear one day that I'm going to forget to put you guys on mute and I'm going to go to the bathroom or something. You guys are going to laugh at me. Like I blew my nose the other day. I thought it was on mute, but it was picking up my headphones. Whatever. Guys, who cares, right? Some of you guys may like me. Some of you guys don't. Whatever. For $10 a month, go pay someone else $200 if you don't like me. But you'll like Dan and Tim. Dan and Tim are good. They're more likable than me at times, I guess. All right, so that's a swing trade. Here's the nightly. Let's go see what we've got. All right, so this one right here, you're going to start to see, you know, more of the pumps and the dumps, right? You said that joking, but then he's got like 8 legs. Right, Matthew? There's a method to my madness. Method to the madness, right? All right, double bottom pattern here, near resistance at that 200 SMA. A bit overextended, holding its highs. So these are the ones that just kind of run with, you know, these small cap stocks, right? They pump and they dump and they do all that good stuff. So you got some resistance right at that. Where is it here? Right at that 200 SMA, right around here. Right, bit overextended, some resistance, kind of a double bottom pattern. Thank you very much, Galen. Appreciate it. Good stuff. Cheap. Reminds me of some good commercial in the past. Yeah. Yeah, Heath. Again, different traders, guys, right? There's not a right way or a wrong way in the sense, well, I mean, there is, but in the sense of what type of trader you are. Are you a scalper or are you kind of a swing trader, right? You know, there's so many different ways. If you like the 1 minute chart, do you like the 5 minute chart? Tim is more of a long-term trader. Tim likes to go, you might see Tim trading more weekly and monthly charts. He's more of our long-term guy, right? So, you know, where Dan and I, you know, we're just trying to grow this for you guys and do the best we can to help you guys out. We're trying to, as we grow, eventually get Dan and Tim out of their jobs. And the more we get them out and free them up, then there's more that we can give back to you guys, right? Very simple. So that being said, I don't know what was just looking at your comments. So at this one right here, I'm seeing charts like crazy here, guys. My head is spinning. Sorry. So this is one to keep an eye on. It is holding its highs. Got to be careful. Got to be careful of that 200 SMA. But if it can get above it, it might have a chance to run. You can kind of draw your trend line right over here, right? Is that kind of right in here? Sometimes it's hard to draw them, right? So you can kind of see it's kind of got this trend line here. It could pull back easily as well. I don't know. I might put it on peripherally for right now. I don't know. It's a little bit overextended. But see, this is where it gets tricky with these patterns, right? You can see a double bottom, kind of a cup pattern. You know, it's nice seeing it's holding its highs, but you can start to see these small caps. They have like, it's tougher, right? They pump and then they dump, right? You can see just they're a lot more, again, pumping and dumping. Not sure about LAC as a company, but in general, you know, they're a little bit trickier when you find them. They just can run like this. Were just like in a natural stock. Like if this was Apple or Google, I might be like, I don't know if I'm going to put this on because it's really super close to resistance. Whereas being a small cap, this thing could easily go and just break out, get another quick pump, and then dump. You guys see what I'm saying? So we'll see. I don't know. I'm not thrilled with that, but we'll see. This one's holding its highs, a bit choppy. Now here's where somebody was saying, I can tell you this is already going to be a 5-cent spread stock. I can already tell you, look at those candlesticks right here. There you go, 5-cent spread stock. So this is one that I personally don't like trading those, but it doesn't mean you guys can't. Now, here you go. There's a lot of volume. Maybe I'll start changing my tune with you guys and putting some of these on the watch list because many of them do go. You can see the volume came in. You can see over here 246, right? It may want to break out. If it does, it can. There's a gap right here. There's a gap on the daily right over here. Maybe I'll change my tune a little bit, guys. Maybe I'll start putting some of these on. Just know I personally don't like the 5 cents, but I don't know. Dan, do you like? I don't know if Dan's Thanks, Topher. So that's my. Maybe I just gotta like. Maybe I'll stop being so anti against them for you guys. Just realize when you buy a 5-cent spread stock, you're automatically until it moves. You got that. You're already down 5 cents, right? If you buy at the ask, you're down 5 cents until that thing moves up. And then it, again, you'll see stuff like this, right? It's a really crappy looking manufactured chart, but many of these will go and they'll just, boom, they'll break out. You can see like, boom, then dump, right? Pump and dump. So all that to be said, it is holding its highs, you know, but then you have that resistance around 246. I don't like this chart, though, with the volume. It's very low on the volume. I don't like it, guys. Sorry, guys. I don't know. I'm a little indecisive. I've been talking too much. I'll put it on for right now because I'll probably end up wanting to go back. We'll look at it at the end. Let me look at the hourly. Yeah, don't really like it. You guys see what I'm saying? Big overall, right? Overall, kind of in a big falling wedge. it could be setting to break out of that falling wedge. But see where it's a little more difficult with these small caps compared to like a big one, let's say Apple or Google, right? You know, this thing may want to start to break out of that wedge at some point, but this could happen tomorrow or it could happen next year. You know, it's just like, look at all this, just like all of this trading inside of here, right? Merck overextended. That one might be for a good short. MERC. So right here, look at that, right at $16. You have some support right down over in here. So this is a good short potential. You can see really overextended, broke out right at $16. Watch this thing to get up above $16. And then, hey, if it gets above and comes back down, this is a potential good short, easy to borrow. So I like that. I like that. You guys see this? Overextended right at 16 bucks. Could still continue up, but at some point it's going to want to pull back, and you have a dollar right here. You know, a dollar potential move. So I like that. Merck for a potential short. MERC. Let's take a look here. Overextended here. This one might want to pull back as well. Right below $2. It's not shortable on Thinkorswim, but again, another one that would be a potential short right here. $2, 3 green days. If $2 rejects, might be a short down to that 148, 150 area. So those that have interactive brokers, you can, well, here's a pattern, right? Left shoulder head, right shoulder broke out, got up, 3 green days. Watch for the shorts to come in. If $2 rejects and fails, this is easily could go down 50 cents. So I'm going to start doing that for you guys now, just because I haven't been putting on shorts that are not in Thinkorswim. But then again, many of you guys have interactive brokers. So interactive brokers, really great for short. So, you know, you don't have to, see, that's the thing about Thinkorswim. Really great for charting. They're shorting stocks. So when a stock's overextended, you really can't get short locates, where you can get them better with interactive brokers. So right here, there's a 50% or 50 cent potential move downwards. Again, doesn't mean this can't go up for a fourth day, but once this goes up, eventually, you know, again, these are garbage stocks, right? These small cap stocks, eventually it's going to go up. Maybe it pumps up and then it like comes right back down. But be aware of the shorts. You can see they're already starting to try to come in and push it down here. You know, if $2 goes up, so if it breaks above $2, then starts to fail. You can short it below $2 using $2 as your stop and take it down. So I'm going to start putting more of these on for you guys, even if they're not showing right here. You can't short in Thinkorswim, but if you have interactive brokers, they probably have locates on this. They're really good at finding locates. All right, so this one's holding its highs. Got some resistance at the 200 SMA. Has some room to potentially go. Let me see. A little bit overextended. Some resistance at the 200 SMA. So, you know, kind of a cup pattern right here. If it can get above $6, $6 is 637. It's a 37-cent potential move. One to keep an eye on. It is overextended though. Gotta be aware of that, but it is still holding its highs as well. So we'll put it on. Broke out, kind of pulled back, kind of that cup and handle pattern. It's a little bit too choppy, so I'm not going to put that one on. No. Nope. All right, so holding its highs, right? Had a big breakout, inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder head, right shoulder. Now you got to start extending this, right? See, got to start extending the neckline here. It is holding its highs, broaching overbought. If it can break 6, it still has room to run. So these are the ones, these small caps, these no rhyme or reasons, right? Inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder head, right shoulder, broke out Went up, came right back down. These small caps, you know, got to be careful with them. But this one, it has room to run. But be aware, overextended. But if it could break 6, it could go up to 650-ish area. DS. Kind of a double bottom right here-ish. Yeah, it's a little bit longer down over here. Let me see. Oh, that's the 30-minute. It's got some room, got some resistance, right around 13. Let me remove these. Put it right around 13. So you can see kind of a 9 and 20 potential crossover here. So this is one to keep an eye on. Keep it on peripherally. CCXI. Nope. Nope. I'm going to try to hurry it up here, guys. This has been going on for a while. This video, hopefully, is helping you guys. Nope. 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 Bit overextended. So, shorting, guys. So this is what you'd want to look at. Right near $10 is going to be very important. Look at that, all the way back here. It's going to be a very, very big, important resistance level. You can see this big cup being formed. Extremely overbought. Not saying it can't break $10. It very well can. But again, at some point this thing's going to want to pull back, and it's got a lot of room to fall. So this is one to keep an eye on for a potential short. Look, Thinkorswim, they suck for thinking for shorting. You know, you can't borrow shares on a $10 stock. That's ridiculous. But I bet you can get them with Interactive Brokers. So doesn't mean it's going to not go up in the future, but this thing's got, you know, $10. It could easily go down right back down to that 9 EMA, right? You have a $2 potential move right back down to short it. So LGCY, we're going to put that one on as a potential short. It may go up and hit $10. It might break above, and then if it gets above and then $10 fails, then look out. No one's holding its highs. Don't really like the pattern on it. Double bottom. Kind of broke out above over here. Don't know if I like it right now. Thanks, Dave. Inverse head and shoulders breakout. ATHX. Can see some resistance right around that 260s range. Look at this, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You can keep extending it right here. Inverse head and shoulder broke out, extend the neckline, resistance right around that 260s range. Bit overextended. So is it holding its highs? Yes, but you got to be very careful. All right, very close to resistance. No. No. Resistance right at that $15 marker, right? See that 9 EMA right at the top of this candle. If it can get above, man, see, this is holding its highs too. So you can see right here. If it can get above, there's room to run. It is holding its highs. Got this contention right here at the moving average lines, but it might be, it was oversold, might be trying to reverse. So it's got room, right? It's got room to run. It's got the moving average line. It's got to get above it. Let me see. Yeah, this is might be one to keep an eye on. I'll put that one on CSTE. CSTE. I'm getting hungry, guys. I'm going to try and wrap this up here for you. Look at this. Filled that gap. FANG, we were talking about that in the trade room today. Filled that gap. Now it's trading sideways. Kind of has an inverse head and shoulders. Might have a continuation. It's holding those highs too. Well, kind of pull back a little bit. I'm not going to put that on. That is correct. Whoever, Jay Kulai, CME does not have a PDT. Thanks, David. Dan's testing them out right now. Way overextended. So overextended. Look at this thing, huh? Weird looking chart. Dang, right over here. This is where it gets really tricky with these, like, see this? That stupid list, this little area here. That one might want to try to get a break out. Dang. Might be setting up. All right, we'll put IPI. Resistance. We have a bunch on the watch list, guys. I think I'm gonna we have so many on here right now. I'm just gonna put the notes on here and just wrap it up for you guys. See what ones I'm gonna keep. IPI might break into. Let's see. Kind of got a cup and a handle, like lots of cup and handles going on in this one right here. So big cup pattern. Watch for potential breakout above 5.05. There we go. CSTE. It's right at that resistance. Right as that was at $15. It's just very close to that 9 EMA. It's a little too close for comfort. I'm going to take that off. LGCY. Bit overextended. This was one that we put on for a potential short. So this one at or below price is overextended. Watch for potential shorts if $10 rejects. See that? Very overextended, getting close to $10. Major cut pattern. If $10 fails or rejects at some point, it could easily fall back down to that 9 EMA. Many times it will, and then it could bounce. Let's take a look at the hourly again. So let's see here, 1250 cup pattern. Watch for potential continuation with resistance at $13. Cup pattern here. See if you can get above 1250. Watch for resistance at $13. Let's see if we can break above. Yes. Bit overextended for me, I think, right now. Let me look at the hourly again. Though it might be trying to break out over $6. These things have no rhyme or reason. So overextended, but watch for potential breakout over 6 with resistance at 649. See if you can get above 6, resistance at 649. Has this inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Extend this neckline up. Fran. Where is that? That's 630. Where is this? 637. So watch if price can get above $6 with resistance at 200 SMA around 637. Right there. MRMD. This one I think we put as a potential short. At or below. Price overextended if $2 rejects, possible short down towards 150-ish. See if $2 rejects, overextended, right back down to right down here. Merc, MERC. Did I have that one as a short too? Yeah. So right at $16. 16 right down to $15. So $14. Price over extended if 16 rejects, possible short down to 15-ish. Overextended RSI at $16. Hey, it might pop up to 16, 20, 30, whatever. If 16 then fails, then it's a possible short right down to $15. Then you cover. Sell high, cover low. Use the top of this candle as a stop. You guys follow me? I'll say that again. Very important. I'm super tired. I want to go, but this is so important, guys. Shorting. Not saying this may continue up. At some point, it's going to want to come down, right? The further away you get away from these moving average lines, got to be super careful. $16, major resistance area, psychological, right? Super extended. Price may get above $16. If price starts to then fail $16 after getting above it, being aware that it's overextended, that's when the shorts may come in. Psychology would mean if 16 fails, you can take a short. I'm not saying to do this. Got to watch the patterns, right? The closer to 16 you would short, you would use a close above $16 as a stop. So if you shorted below $16, you would use a close above $16 as your stop, using these areas as support. So you would short, you would sell high, buy low to cover, and then you become even. Here's shorting again, guys. You're borrowing shares. Don't overcomplicate it. You're selling shares you don't have. Let's say you had 1,000 shares. You sell short 1,000 shares at $16. That's 16,000 short. You're negative 1,000 shares. You're selling high. covering at support. Let's say it falls down to $15. You made $1. So when you buy it back, you're buying it back at $15. You sold it at $16. So now your shares are even, but you made $1 on that, right? So you made 1,000 shares times $1. Risk management, guys. Again, you can see something like this. Very great setup. If this happens, it may not. It may continue, but at some point it's going to want to pull back. You sell high, you buy low to cover, put yourself at even, and use, again, $16 overextended, really good risk management as your stop loss. That's the psychology of shorting, right? All right. I got a couple more, and then I am done. B-Box, I was iffy on it. I'm just taking it off just out of spite. It's 5-cent stock. Screw you. I'm taking it off. LAC. And this one's potential. You get that, what is that, 684. It's right up against resistance of that 200 SMA. So I'm going to take it off. We got enough on both of our watch lists. This is good enough right here. We also share trade ideas each day. This is it, guys. I can't put any much more video into giving you guys these secrets of stuff. If you watch this morning too, the playback of our video on YouTube over here, you know, this live stream today just really went into just kind of a, you know, trend lines, where you would buy, slowing things down. You'll see all these videos. We're just really, if you just watch these, lots of content, these live streams, we're sharing so much of the secrets behind. Guys, I can't even tell you this. I almost want to tell you guys. I would tell you guys this because I don't care. Guys, we're $10 a month. If you want to know if we're worth it, here's what you can do. Very simple. Dan will probably get mad at me for sharing this, but I don't care. Pay us $10 a month. And then go join other trading companies. Pay them $150. Pay them $200 a month. We have no hate towards them. You could use us with them. Use two if you want. For crying out loud, we're so inexpensive. You could use us with another trading company. We don't care, right? We have no hate towards them. And then see if we're worth it. I'd almost go as far as to guarantee you that we're giving you way more in our trade room than any other trading companies that are out there. We're telling you like it is. We've been in other trading companies, no hate towards them. But if you want the secrets on the stuff that we're teaching that you see in all these videos right here, number one, you're going to have to pay thousands for their trading courses. Number two, they don't really tell you the secrets in their trading courses because why? They want you confused. Why do they want you confused? Because they want you to pay thousands for their coaching. Why? That's where they make all their money. Because you know why? You're going to quit. Just like most traders are, because why? Over 90% of traders fail. That's it, guys. This is the game. I'm teaching you all of this. We're putting it all out there. We're not hiding anything. This is it. This is it. Statistically, over 90% of you listening to this video are going to fail trading. So what we're trying to do is, number one, help those that really want to help themselves. And number two, we want to kind of weed through those, the ones you guys that like, you know, if you find out trading is not for you, we want to protect your brokerage accounts. Very simple. This is it. We're laying it all down for you guys. This is how it works. This is the game of trading. Thank you very much, Jay. I appreciate it. This is it. Can't give you any more, guys. We're giving everything that we possibly have for you guys. It's all laid out here. Thousands of courses, our trade rooms over here. We're making these videos, these live streams, all the playbacks. And as you can see, you click subscribe. We're $10 a month. That's it. That's what I got for you guys. What else we got? You get real-time trends. Yeah, thank you, Matthew. Correct. Dan is much more technical than me. Dan is awesome. Dan is the trendline master. I hate even saying this, but I wish you would cancel this stupid freaking Twitter handle. But I'm sure Dan likes to have fun. We like to have fun things, right? So Dan has his own little fun little YouTube Twitter. His own little Twitter handle where he is the trendline master. But he is. I laugh, but it is. But I hate cheesiness like that. But whatever, you got to have a little bit of cheesiness. So you can follow Dan at Trendline Master. He's super awesome at all this stuff, guys. So help us continue to grow. We'll keep it at $10 a month. We'll get Dan and Tim out of their jobs. We'll keep growing, give you guys more back, and then keep going, right? I'm doing the best I can. We're all trying to help you guys out. That's what we got. Enjoy, guys. Have a great evening. Yes, he is a hot king as well. He is a hot key king. He likes to tap those hotkeys. Later, guys. Enjoy.